The movie begins. We learn about the film's concept, where things have become very advanced. You've probably heard the saying time is money, but what if that became literal, and time itself became the new currency instead of money? That's the idea in this movie. We find out that in this world, time is the new currency. When every person is born, a 1-year timer appears on their arm, and this timer starts when they turn 25 years old. Now, using this time, anyone can buy food, drinks, and other necessities. To buy anything, they simply have to scan their time. When time is deducted, that item could be bought, and if anyone's time runs out, they die instantly. Now we are shown an area. Its time zone is called Dayton, and the people here are quite poor. They are short on time, and everyone has to work very hard to earn it. Every day, they only receive 24 hours of time as payment. That's why they have to work every single day of the year. If they don't, they will die after their 24 hours are up. On the other hand, we see a wealthy community called New Greenwich, where people possess hours in the millions. The scene focuses on a man named Will who belongs to the poor community. Today is Will's mom's birthday, but we see that Will's mom looks just as young as Will. This shows us that people actually stop aging after 25. So, no matter how many years go by, people always look 25. That's why Will's mom, Bethany, looks young. Will tells his mom that they will celebrate her birthday tonight. After this, he leaves for work. When he gets there, he sees that a worker has died because their time ran out. But everyone continues with their jobs. If they don't work, they won't receive their next 24 hours of time. We also see Will's close friend Gary, who works all day with the other workers. At the end of the day, they all get 24 hours of time scanned onto their arms. After this, Will and Gary go to a bar for a drink. There, Will notices a man with a timer on his arm showing 16 years, which surprises Will because their area was very poor, and nobody there had that much time. So, Will tells the man to be careful there, as anyone seeing his time might try to take it. But the man doesn't pay much attention to Will, and Will goes to sit with Gary. Soon after, some thugs show up, intending to steal the man's time. They order him to scan his arm to transfer his time to them. The man says he wants to go to the restroom first. The thug sends him to the restroom accompanied by one of his men. Will is watching everything and decides to help him. He manages to get him out of there and into a nearby building. However, with the thugs still outside, they couldn't get away. So, they have to spend the night there. The two of them start talking. The man's name is Henry. Henry reveals he used to be a businessman and had a lot of time. He is over 100 years old and has grown tired of living. That's why he quit his business and began spending all the time he had accumulated. He now has a lot of time but doesn't know how to spend it. Will tells him he should value this time, as many people like himself work day and night just to get a little of it. Henry seems to ponder this. After talking for some more time, they both fall asleep right there. When Will wakes up in the morning, he finds Henry gone. He is shocked to discover that Henry has transferred all of his time to him. Then, his gaze falls on the window. Henry had left a message for him saying, "Use my time well, and don't waste it." Will looks outside and sees Henry on a nearby bridge, preparing to end his life. Henry had kept only a tiny amount of time for himself. Will rushes towards him, but just as Henry's final seconds tick away, he has a heart attack and dies on the spot, his body then falling into the water. Will is heartbroken because he couldn't save Henry, but before he can be blamed for the death, he starts to leave. However, the incident was recorded by nearby security cameras. Unsure what to do, Will first goes to his friend Gary and tells him everything that happened. He then transfers 10 years to Gary, hoping to make his friend's life a little easier. After that, he sets out to meet his mom. Meanwhile, when Will's mom gets on a bus, she finds the fare has increased. She doesn't have enough time to pay for the ticket, so the bus driver forces her off the bus. Will's mom starts running, desperate to reach Will because if her time runs out, she will die. When Will arrives at the bus stop, he sees his mother isn't there. He realizes something is wrong, so he quickly starts running towards the earlier bus stop. On the way, he spots his mom running towards him, but before they can reach each other, Will's mom's time expires, and she dies on the spot. Will weeps, heartbroken because he now had enough time to save her, and they could have been happy, but he couldn't save his mother. The scene changes, and we see Henry's body washed up on a shore, with police investigating. Here, the police are known as timekeepers. A timekeeper named Raymond is the lead investigator on the case. His team members suspect Henry was killed for his vast amount of time, suggesting his death might have been due to his time running out. But Raymond believes his time was stolen, and suspects there's more to it. He wants to uncover the real reason. Will takes a car and heads to New Greenwich. To get there, he must pass through several time zones, getting scanned at each one. Arriving in New Greenwich, his eyes fall upon a young woman, and then he moves on. He checks into a hotel where he encounters the same young woman again. Will books a room. Later, while he's having lunch at the hotel, the same young woman appears before him once more. He tips the waitress a week's worth of time. He then asks about a casino, and at night, he gets ready and goes there. To enter, he has to pay 1 year of his time. He's then shown to a table where he plays poker and meets a businessman named Philippe. He plays a poker game with him. Will risks all his time on the game and wins, netting a full 1,000 years. The young woman from the hotel, whose name is Samantha, is also there. She turns out to be Philippe's daughter. Philippe invites Will to a party at his mansion. Next, Will drives an expensive car to Philippe's house for the party. There, he meets Philippe's mother, wife, and daughter, who all appear to be the same age, though in reality, their ages are different. At the party, Samantha asks Will to dance. They dance, and afterward, Will takes her out somewhere with him. Meanwhile, the timekeepers acquire security footage of Will going to Philippe's house and learn more about him. At the party, Samantha and Will go to the beachside. They decide to go for a swim. Just as they are swimming, Samantha's bodyguard calls for her. They quickly get dressed and return to the party, and Philippe remains unaware of their swim in the ocean. Raymond shows up at the party. He takes Will into a separate room and questions him about Henry's death. Will explains that he won some time in a game and that Henry gave him all his remaining time before he died. Raymond confiscates all of Will's time, storing it in a capsule, and tells Will he's under arrest. Will manages to overpower the timekeepers, rushes downstairs, and seizes Samantha as a hostage. He forces her into his car and speeds off, effectively kidnapping her. Raymond pursues them but Will manages to lose him and speeds ahead. They drive on and reach Dayton. However, the police have set up a roadblock, causing Will's car to crash, knocking them both unconscious. Then, some local thugs from Dayton appear and steal almost all of Samantha's time. When she regains consciousness, she finds she only has 32 minutes left. Will quickly takes her to Gary's house. There, Gary's wife informs him that Gary wasted all his time on drinking, his time ran out, and he died. Will takes Samantha's diamond ring, sells it, and gets 40 hours from the sale. He then takes Samantha to a public phone at gunpoint and makes her call Philippe. Will then demands Philippe give him 1,000 years, transferred to a time bank in Dayton, in exchange for Samantha's release. Later that night, Samantha goes with Will to his place. They rest for a bit, and Will gives Samantha one of his mother's dresses to wear. Samantha asks Will about his parents. Will tells her his father died during his childhood, and his mother raised him. Will shares some of his time with Samantha. When they wake up in the morning, they find Philippe hasn't sent the 1,000 years. By now, a bond of friendship has formed between Will and Samantha. Will tells her to go back home. Samantha says she wants to stay with him. She adds that she'll tell her father she left willingly. They then share a kiss. Will also gives Samantha a gun. Samantha then calls Philippe from a phone booth. Raymond appears from behind, about to shoot Will. However, Samantha shoots Raymond first. The two of them take Raymond's car and escape. Samantha points out that being in a timekeeper's car makes them easily identifiable by other timekeepers, so they need a different vehicle. They then carjack another car, steal time from the woman inside, and drive away. After this, they find a secluded spot and watch a news report on TV. The police are now searching for Will. In the car, they kiss and share a tender moment. Meanwhile, Raymond goes to Philippe and informs him that he must now also pursue Samantha as a criminal because she shot a timekeeper. Will teaches Samantha how to use a gun. Will is running low on time, so Samantha tells him she has an idea. Following her plan, they head to a bank. They get inside a truck. The bank belongs to Samantha's father. They use the truck to crash into one of his time-lending branches and steal a large number of time capsules. Will also encourages the people there to distribute time freely. He gives away a lot of time to the poor. However, with this sudden influx of time, crime rates also rise in Dayton. At night, Will and Samantha are in a hotel. They share an intimate moment. Timekeepers arrive at the hotel. Will and Samantha quickly get dressed and exit their room. The timekeepers chase after them, but Will and Samantha jump out of a window and flee the hotel. A timekeeper pursues them, firing shots, but they manage to get away. Will and Samantha then go to another hotel and book every single room available at the reception. They settle into one of the rooms. Another man arrives at the hotel looking for a room, but the receptionist tells him none are available because Will has booked them all. The scene then shifts to Fortis, a thug from Dayton who is gathering his crew and asking them about Will and Samantha's whereabouts. Out of fear, a young man reveals their location. Fortis and his gang then head to the hotel. He captures Will and Samantha and threatens them with a gun. However, instead of killing them immediately, he challenges Will to an arm wrestle. During the match, Will uses the trick he taught Samantha, making Fortis glance at his own time clock. Will seizes this moment of distraction, grabs a gun, shoots Fortis's men, and he and Samantha manage to escape. They spend the night on a building's rooftop. The next day, Samantha, armed with a gun, approaches her father. This causes all of Philippe's guards to aim their weapons at her. With everyone focused on Samantha, Will manages to sneak up from behind. He holds Philippe at gunpoint and takes him to his private vault room, with Samantha accompanying them. Samantha demands the code to his vault. From there, they take a time capsule containing 1 million years. As they leave with the capsule, Raymond spots them. He begins to chase them, increasing his car's speed, crossing through multiple time zones, and eventually reaching the border of Dayton. However, Raymond crashes his car into theirs. Will gets out of his car and hands the million-year capsule to a little girl, instructing her to take it to the local Dayton time-sharing center. After emerging from his own wrecked car, Raymond holds Will at gunpoint. But at that moment, the time from the capsule begins to be distributed among the people of Dayton, creating a celebratory commotion. Will and Samantha use this distraction to slip away. Raymond catches up to them and orders them to surrender. Will mockingly asks if Raymond even has enough time left to arrest them. Upon checking his own clock, Raymond realizes he only has a few seconds remaining. Before he can react, his time expires, and he collapses, dead. Now, Will himself is critically low on time. Samantha tries to transfer her time to him to save him, but Will suddenly gets an idea. They sprint towards Raymond's official timekeeper car, knowing it would contain emergency time. Both of them race to the vehicle. Will reaches it first. He quickly recharges his own clock using the time from the car. Samantha had fallen behind and had only 5 seconds left. Will instantly dashes back to her, transfers time, and saves her life just in the nick of time. They embrace. In the aftermath, because of Will and Samantha's actions of distributing time, the desperation among the people in Dayton vanishes. Everyone starts living much happier lives, many even leaving their old jobs, as their basic need for time has been met by Will and Samantha. The timekeepers struggle to capture Will and Samantha. In the final scene, we see both of them, guns in hand, entering another large bank. Will and Samantha continue to rob banks, presumably to redistribute wealth, and the movie ends on this note.